There's a city built on lies in the heart of Central Asia, and what happens there will change how you see freedom forever. Welcome to Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, the capital of a nation that's mastered the art of illusion. I'm walking through what appears to be the world's most perfect metropolis. Gleaming white marble covers every surface, from skyscrapers to sidewalks. The symmetry is almost unnatural. Every building perfectly aligned, every street impeccably clean. It feels like wandering through a computer rendering rather than a living city. But something's wrong here, deeply wrong. As I move through these pristine streets, an unsettling feeling creeps over me. It's the sensation of being watched, of invisible eyes tracking your every move. The silence is deafening. Where are all the people? This city holds multiple Guinness World Records, largest indoor Ferris wheel, most fountain pools in a public place, largest architectural star. They've used so much white marble that they've actually set a world record for marble construction. But these achievements hide a disturbing truth. During peak daylight hours, you can search for residents and find almost none. The wide 8-lane highways sit empty. Massive sports stadiums built for thousands contain only echoes. Elaborate water fountains dance for no audience. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens struggle with water shortages and food scarcity in their daily lives. So why build a magnificent city that nobody inhabits? What terrible truth requires such an elaborate facade? History provides a chilling parallel. In 1944, as reports of Nazi atrocities began reaching neutral countries, Germany faced a propaganda crisis. Their solution? Operation Embellishment, an elaborate hoax at Theresienstadt concentration camp. Red Cross inspectors were invited to witness a model Jewish settlement. They saw clean streets, beautiful gardens, coffee houses filled with laughing families, and kindergartens with playing children. The report noted everything seemed acceptable, but this was all theater. The entire settlement was a stage set. The residents were prisoners forced to memorize scripts, taught to say, "We feel safe here, we have cultural freedom." The Nazis even filmed a propaganda movie called "The Führer Gives the Jews a City." Then, when the camera stopped rolling, every one of those actors, including the children, were shipped to Auschwitz and murdered the next day. Theresienstadt wasn't a city. It was a performance. And once the audience left, the curtain fell permanently. Today, 80 years later, Ashgabat shows disturbing echoes of that same deception. When citizens try to expose the truth behind Turkmenistan's beautiful facade, they disappear. Take the case of Ogul Sapar Muradoha. In September 2006, her family received her body with natural causes listed as official explanation. But when they examined her, they found strangulation marks on her neck and a severe head wound. She had possessed recordings of government officials that authorities desperately wanted suppressed. The family's inquiries were brushed aside, and the incident vanished from official records overnight. She wasn't alone. Boris Shikmuratov, the former foreign minister and once the president's most trusted insider, vanished in November 2002. Weeks later, a bizarre video aired nationwide, showing a broken man confessing to being a mere criminal and drug addict. His speech was clearly scripted. His face showed signs of torture, his eyes distant as if under mind-altering drugs. 23 years later, he remains missing. No one knows if he's alive or dead. Imagine a mad scientist locking 600,000 people in a giant laboratory, erasing their history and rewriting their reality for 30 years. What kind of society would emerge from such psychological manipulation? This isn't hypothetical. It's Turkmenistan's reality. The architect of this system was Saparmurat Niyazov. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, he transformed Turkmenistan from a communist state into his personal kingdom. He kept the KGB structure intact, simply renaming it the Committee for National Security. Same system, same officers, new master.
The KNB gained total access to citizens' phone records, travel permissions, employment files. The concept of private space systematically vanished. Schools, mosques, factories, universities, everywhere contained civilian informants. A network of local Turkmen spying on their own neighbors. Fear became so pervasive that people would turn up their television volume when speaking at home, worried that neighbors might overhear and report them. Even children in schools became informants. Then came the turning point. On November 27, 2002, President Niyazov's motorcade passed through city center when gunfire erupted. He escaped unharmed and immediately blamed former ministers and diplomats for an attempted coup. The problem? The government never released any evidence. No car photos, no bullet shells, no eyewitnesses. To this day, no one knows if this was a genuine assassination attempt or a manufactured crisis to justify a crackdown. What followed was systematic persecution. Thousands were imprisoned, television featured forced confessions, every voice of opposition was silenced, and Niyazov made his most cruel decision, building Ovadan Depe. Located 70 kilometers from Ashgabat in the desert, this maximum security facility isn't just a prison, it's Niyazov's personal psychological laboratory. Prisoners endure extreme torture, desert heat that melts skin, freezing nights, deadly diseases, routine violence, and starvation-level rations. One of the most feared punishments was called the flying carpet. Prisoners handcuffed inside a tire and suspended, their arms screaming in agony. Solitary confinement cells were designed to break minds, some in complete darkness, others with walls so close inmates couldn't stand straight. Ovadan Depe doesn't kill quickly. It erases people slowly. First memory, then identity, then hope. After the 2002 attempt, former leaders, journalists, and dissidents were captured and buried in this desert hell. Boris Shikmuradov likely ended up here.
How did Niyazov maintain such control? Through a systematic three-part strategy: physical, economic, and psychological domination. Physical control came first. In Turkmenistan, you cannot freely move between cities. If you're not a registered resident of Ashgabat, you cannot live there. Hotels refuse locals without police clearance. Public transportation requires ID checks. Leaving the country? Passports face endless delays or outright denial. Even with documents, border police can stop anyone at the last moment. A special blacklist targets journalists, activists, political prisoners' families, and anyone who sought foreign education or work without approval. Your passport isn't a travel document. It's a loyalty certificate the state can revoke anytime. But Niyazov understood that controlling bodies means little without controlling minds. His next move: information control. WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, VPNs, all banned. Newspapers, television, radio, only state propaganda. Foreign media, Russian channels, outside books, completely prohibited. Then he introduced his masterpiece, the Ruhnama. This book, written by Niyazov himself, contained a fictional history of Turkmenistan and his personal philosophy. He declared it a divine text, announcing that whoever read it 3 times would enter paradise. He awarded himself the National Literature Prize. Schools, offices, mosques, driver's license tests, everywhere required Ruhnama study. Children memorized chapters, civil servants recited verses in exams, imams preached from it in mosques. Ashgabat built a massive Ruhnama monument that opens every evening while loudspeakers broadcast chapters. This wasn't education, it was identity reprogramming. Neuroscience shows that any message repeated with reward or punishment transforms from thought to belief to identity. Through the Ruhnama, Niyazov wasn't teaching morality, he was rebuilding Turkmen identity in his own image. His final psychological weapon: visual anchoring. Golden statues of Niyazov appeared in every square, his portrait in every office. A 24-karat gold statue rotated to always face the sun. He renamed months. January became Turkmenbashi, September became Ruhnama. The human brain defines normal through daily visual cues. When every square, office, banknote, and book features the same face, that face becomes reality itself. In such an environment, even Niyazov's most bizarre decrees seemed reasonable. He banned dog ownership in the capital because he disliked their smell. He officially declared that young children shouldn't wear gold teeth but should chew bones for dental health. Meanwhile, Ashgabat's beautification continued, not for residents' benefit, but as psychological design. The message: order, control, perfection. But the reality was far different. In December 2006, hope briefly flickered when Niyazov died unexpectedly. People anticipated change, but before dawn, the National Security Council announced Niyazov's longtime loyalist, his personal dentist and health minister, as interim president. Weeks later, elections produced the familiar headline: 99.9% support. Of course, only the man had changed. The chains remained, actually tightening further. Today, in 2025, Turkmenistan ranks among the world's most closed societies. Freedom House gives it a global freedom score of 1 out of 100, the worst possible category. Reporters Without Borders places it 176th out of 180 countries for press freedom. 19 years after Niyazov's death, the people still aren't free. Ashgabat remains a decorated stage awaiting an audience that cannot enter and actors who cannot leave. The most beautiful prisons need no bars. So what can we learn from this? We don't live in Turkmenistan. We have internet, choices, freedom. We're free in our thoughts and beliefs, right? But are we really?
In Turkmenistan, dictatorship is visible. In marble cities, golden statues, forced loyalty. But in modern democracies, dictatorship becomes invisible in algorithms, echo chambers, and trending narratives. Both share one common goal: suppressing critical thinking. Whoever controls your mind controls your reality. Throughout this video, you've seen how systems rewrite reality. Turkmenistan teaches one crucial lesson: the system that controls your thinking has controlled you. And these systems share one great fear: awareness. The day people start looking critically at everything, understanding the logic behind every message, is the day no one can control your mind. Not a ruler, not a narrative, not an algorithm. This, my friends, is the psycho mindset. Questioning everything, breaking default assumptions, understanding why things are the way they are. Becoming a logical, rational human being. After all, this is true freedom. If you live in a democracy but aren't free in your mind, are you truly free at all? If this perspective resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to Winds of Thought for more journeys into the psychology of power. Check out our video about Kowloon Walled City, a place denser than Dharavi that was ruled not by any government but by a secret cult organization.